All right. If you guys could each just say your name, please, and then mute yourselves.
I'm Nick.
Haley.
I'm Hunter Green.
Hey, I'm Jag.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Lewis.
All right. Today we are doing this on practical life skills that should be required in high school. Imagine graduating high school, knowing how to solve for the area of a triangle or memorize the periodic table, but having absolutely no idea how to file your taxes, or make a budget, or build credit, or even understand how a mortgage works. That's the reality for a lot of people today. I know for me personally, I learned almost everything I know about finances, credit, insurance, and other adult responsibilities after I graduated. Most of it came from making mistakes or having to figure it out on my own. Looking back, I wish someone had taught me those things while I was still in high school. Today, I want to talk about why high school should require practical life skill classes. I'll explain why financial literacy matters, why school should teach more everyday life skills, and how these classes could prepare students for adulthood. Let's start with financial literacy because I think it's one of the biggest gaps in education. When most people graduate high school, they're expected to start making financial decisions almost immediately. Some people go to college and take out student loans, others finance a car, rent an apartment, or open up their first credit card. The problem is that many of us are making these decisions without ever being taught how they actually work. Things like budgeting, taxes, interest rates, credit scores, investing, and debt affect almost everyone, yet most students never take a class that explains any of it. Research supports that idea that financial education actually works. Gill found that high school students who received financial literacy instruction significantly improved their financial knowledge after completing the course. This shows us that these classes are making a real difference instead of just checking a box. I honestly think that if more people understood how interest works or how credit cards uh, work, and how it affected their future, we'd probably see fewer young adults getting buried in debt right after high school. Financial literacy is important, but I think schools could even go further. There are so many practical things that we use every single day that never get talked about in school. For example, students could learn how to file taxes, understand health insurance, rent an apartment, compare loans, or even how to cook basic meals. None of these things are complicated, but they become stressful when you have never been exposed to them before. Most adults eventually learn these lessons, but it's usually because they made an expensive mistake first. Another study by Ulazok found that financial education helps adolescents improve their financial knowledge and encourages better financial decision making later in life. I think I really think one semester of practical life skills would benefit students far more than another elective they'll probably never use again. Schools also do a great job preparing students academically, but they don't really prepare them for entering the workforce. Most students graduate without ever writing a professional resume, practicing for a job interview, or learning how to communicate professionally in a workplace. As someone who works full time while going to school, I can say those communication skills matter just as much as the technical knowledge. Research by Raham suggests that financial literacy education can improve educational and career opportunities by giving students more confidence when making important life decisions. Now, I do want to point out that not every study found financial literacy classes solving every problem. One study by Weathers found that simply requiring financial literacy courses did not reduce participation programs in, in programs like Medicaid or SNAP. But researchers still recognize that financial programs help people make better financial decisions overall. To me, that just shows that one class isn't going to magically solve every problem, but it can absolutely give students a better starting point than having no education at all. Today, I talked about why financial literacy is important, why schools should teach more practical life skills, and how these classes can better prepare students for adulthood. I believe schools do a great job teaching math, science, English, and history, and those subjects are all important, but I also think schools should spend more time teaching students how to succeed once they leave the classroom. Imagine if every student graduate knowing how to manage money, build good credit, file taxes, or prepare for a job interview. Those are skills almost everyone will use for the rest of their lives. So my challenge to you is this: if you ever have the opportunity to vote on local education issues or speak with school board members, support adding practical life skill courses to high school curriculums. We spend 13 years preparing students to graduate. We should also spend some of that time preparing them for the life that comes after that. Thank you.
Good job.
Hold on 1 second.
Good